Are you surprised that people are not happy that kids across the country are getting opportunities for a better education? Arkansas launched a new program last year called the Education Freedom Accounts, which is a school choice initiative that provides funding for students to enroll in private school or use the funds to enroll in homeschool. Many people call it a school voucher or homeschool voucher program.
We're rolling out this program for our most at-risk families first, and within 3 years, it'll be available to every family in Arkansas.
Well, it happened. There is a brand new lawsuit against the school choice initiative. And in this video, I will tell you exactly what I think about this ridiculous lawsuit that is being shared in this news article. So it is called Lawsuit Filed, Challenging Arkansas School Voucher Program Created by 2023 Law. So 4 Arkansas residents have filed a lawsuit challenging a school voucher program created by an education overhaul signed by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders last year, saying that it violates the state's constitution's protections for educational funding. Then it goes into some details of the voucher program. And I thought this part's kind of funny. The lawsuit claims, so this is not word for word what the lawsuit says, but the lawsuit claims the program violates Arkansas's constitution by diverting tax money intended to help public schools. So just, the phrasing of this to me is just sad because the whole purpose of education is not to help public schools. Public education was created to help students, not the institution of public school in and of itself, or at least that's what it should be created for. And so, just in general. So let's see what the actual quotes are from the lawsuit. So the LEARNS Act represents a radical and unconstitutional departure from a public school system that has endured since the establishment of the state of Arkansas. So let's start with this first section. The LEARNS Act represents a radical and unconstitutional departure. So let's just go with the word radical. It represents a radical departure from a public school system. And my response to that is, yeah, it is radical, and that's what we want. The idea is that the public school system is not working for so many of our kids. It is not a good system for so many of our kids. So yes, to make a radical difference in education is going to be a radical change to the system, or yes, a departure from the system for a lot of these kids. So the word radical to me is actually a good thing. Yes, it's radical. That's what we want. We want radical change. Now, it's an unconstitutional departure. Now, I can't fully comment on this because I am not trained in knowing what the Constitution is. But what I will say is if this lawsuit ends up moving forward and this policy becomes deemed unconstitutional, then my thoughts is our next steps are to change the Constitution. Because the purpose of education should be to educate our children in the best way possible. And so if it's the public school system that's working for kids, great. But if it's not, if they need a different opportunity, then that's what we want. So, I'll be watching this case. If it's deemed unconstitutional, then I will be supportive of, measures to change that. Then it says it represents a radical departure from a public school system that has endured since the establishment of the state of Arkansas, which to me is hilarious because who cares? Who cares that the public school system has been established since the state of Arkansas was established? If something isn't good, it doesn't matter if it's 1 year old or 100 years old. It's just not good, and we have to make changes. And so to me, that comment is completely irrelevant. And it says it added that it would drain valuable and necessary resources from the public school system. Okay, so the purpose of school vouchers is that it follows the student. So if a public school is not needing a student, if that student is not there, then they don't need those resources. Okay, so if the student is at that school, say there's 100 students at that school, then they get a certain amount of funding for 100 students. Well, if 20 of them decide to go elsewhere, then yes, they would get less resources because there's 20 less students in the school system. And so, yes, it would be draining. It would be getting rid of some of these resources, but there's also less students there. So it doesn't, it doesn't matter. All right, so let's go to the next part. It will create a separate and unequal dual school system that discriminates between children based on economic, racial, and physical characteristics and capabilities. I don't know why everything has to be discriminative these days. In my mind, this is actually a really good policy that is an equalizer. It is helping students, not discriminating against students. It's helping students that are in bad circumstances, that are in a school that's failing. So this year it's for students that are in a school that has a D or F rating school, and we're giving them opportunity regardless of their economic, racial, and physical characteristics. We're giving them the opportunity to have a different system that works for them. So it is not discriminative. It is helpful. It is equalizing the opportunity for kids regardless of what background they come from. So it says here, we look forward to successfully defending the LEARNS Act in court as we have done before. Happy to say they're obviously ready to defend this, and hopefully it goes through and this program will continue as planned.